Hello, everybody. It's me, Agnes Friedlander, but you can call me Aggie. We're going to be painting again tonight. This is the Lavender Studies series that I've been doing. This is week 3. This is the third one in the series. Let me grab the first 2 that we did just in case you didn't see it. Okay, so these are the different reference images. Let me make myself smaller. So these are the different reference images. And you can grab this packet over at, let me grab my link tree and share it with you. Hold on, give me 1 second. Just getting ready. And if it's your first time here, please say hello, welcome. We're so happy to have you. All right, let me get my link tree. My link tree, I have it in my notes. Here it is. And this is where you can go grab. I'm gonna go into the comments here. I don't see any comments yet. Wait, am I in the right thing here? Oh, here. Hi, Shelly. Hey, Marty. All right, here we go. Here is, hey, Carol Ann. There's my link tree, and that's where you can go to grab the tracer, to grab this whole PDF packet that I created for this series. So, here's a couple of the tracers. Here's the basket that we did last week. This is the watering can we did the first week. Here's the cover of the thing, and it's got the dates on it. So there's one more after this that we're going to be doing. And then I've also included just some general information about upcoming stuff that we're doing in my online membership. It's a painting and glass and resin community. And we would love to have you if you think you are interested in pursuing more things like this. So this is what we're going to be doing next week. And this is the tracer for her. So lots of fun. Let me show you what my paintings turned out like. This is the one we did last week, the basket of lavender flowers. And I really love this one. At first I was like, meh, but now I'm like, gosh, this really is nice. And this is the one we did the first week, the watering can. So tonight, does this one seem a little scary? I'm even just a little bit scared, I think. But you know what? We're gonna conquer it together, okay? So do you ever wonder how artists decide what colors they're going to use? You want to have a reference image and you want to look at the colors on that reference image. Now, I'm only sharing the reference image on a printout because it's just easier for me to do it that way. I got these from Unsplash. You can see the watermark on there. It is these are free images. And you want to always have a reference image, just makes things easier. And we're going to look at these colors, and generally what I tell my students is that you want to get to know a palette of colors, get to know them intimately well, use those colors all the time, and then you get to the point where you just know what to expect. Okay, so we've got some standard colors that we typically use. And of course, for pinks like this, you can use a magenta or a rose. It's a cool red. But we're also going to use a warm red, believe it or not, for the distant flowers. They're muted. So what's happening in this reference image is what's called atmospheric perspective. And you may not have heard that term. Hey, Lynn. But basically, things that are closer to us are a more saturated color. Saturated meaning, these bright, vivid colors that we see in the foreground here. And these are the same, we know, from experience, from being in a field, we know that these are the same, it's the same greenery in the distance. It just looks different because of the way light affects things, okay? And things that are farther away become more muted, desaturated, and certain colors drop away. Um, I heard somebody say recently that yellow drops away, but we really do see a lot of yellow in there. But like mountains look blue and things like that, right? We've all seen that. Hey, Janet. So we're going to mix some muted colors for the distance. And obviously we need a green, but you can make green from yellow and blue. Um, so we also need to make a skin tone. Anytime you're mixing a skin tone, you need some yellow and some red, and maybe you need something to kind of just mute those two colors, like a brown or something. So I think for this one, there's two different yellows that we would use, because we've got this muted yellow basket, brownish yellow basket. So we need some sort of muted yellow for skin tone for the basket, and maybe to just kind of desaturate in general. So raw sienna is a really great color for that. So I'm going to be using raw sienna. I'm going to be using quinacridone magenta, obviously, because I need a nice pink. And quinacridone magenta is a fabulous pink. If you don't have that, you could use magenta. And we need now I have phthalo green blue shade. I think I'm going to use that because when I mix that with a primary yellow, or I like Hansa Yellow Opaque by Golden. So just a yellow, it's not green yellow, it's not orange yellow, it's straight up yellow. If I mix that yellow with green, I'll get these beautiful lime colors. And lime and lavender is just a great combination. Greens and purples are like kissing cousins. I don't know why I said kissing cousins. They're both transitional colors. They can be warm and cool. So anyway, the black, we're going to make the black our own. Black is just a mixture of three of your darkest colors. You could use a blue, a red, and a purple or whatever. Any three dark colors, it's going to make a black. Okay. So let's go ahead and start grabbing some paints. So I said I was going to grab quinacridone magenta. Let's put some of that out. So that's my cool red. And I think what I'll do is I'll put some cool colors on this side and the warm colors on the other side. Now I also have a purple, a pre-mixed purple, permanent violet dark. And this will come in handy for maybe when I make my black or wherever I want to make something darker. Not necessarily for the lavender itself. But of course I could use it for that. And then I've got the phthalo green blue shade. Anytime you use a phthalo, super powerful. You don't need a whole lot of it. Here's my yellow. I guess I didn't separate the warms from the cools, but that's okay. I'm going to grab this red also. Just a little bit of pyro red light. Something went flying. And for my blue, I'm going to use some ultramarine blue. I think the sky is very gray, and it's kind of, I wonder if it's artificial. I wonder if they retouched it to look like that. It kind of gives the feeling that it is, what time of day do you guys think it is? Just curious. It's definitely a gray sky, right? Is it dusk? Is it early morning? Does it matter? No, not really. And then here is my raw sienna. Yellow ochre, we used to call it. Same thing, pretty much, pretty similar. Okay, so for now, I'm just getting those colors out. Oh, sorry, you couldn't see them all. And, just grab your paint supplies. You just need a container of water. And what I did here is I took if I can get this to all fit on here for you. I'm going to remove myself from the screen so that you can see everything. Yes, good. And let's do a little color mixing. Shall we? Shall we? Yeah, evening-ish, right? It does feel evening-ish. I've got a variety of brushes. Just grab, you're going to need a couple of small brushes since this is only a 6x6. It's a pretty small painting. So I've got a little detail brush, a couple of rounds, and a flat brush. I've been enjoying this dagger brush lately. I get a lot of these Royal Soft Grip brushes from, what is it called again, Shelley? Artistpaintbrush.com. I think that's the name of it. And then, of course, I've got a couple of blue shop towels. And I thought it might be nice to just maybe mix a couple of colors here, test them out on the paper. I think that's the biggest issue most people have is mixing colors, right? Who here is uncomfortable or maybe feeling like you want a little more confidence in mixing paint colors? So what I see in the distant background there, it really looks, if I squint down at it, it really does look like this raw sienna color quite a bit. But it has a little bit of that purple. So one reason why it's nice to have this violet color is I can add a little bit of that to that. A little bit of raw sienna added to the violet color, maybe even add a little white. And I get that nice mauve-y color that kind of looks like what's in the distance there. Maybe it's a little lighter than that. So that's why it's good to kind of swatch it out a little bit like that. So maybe I would add more white to it. And white is going to make it a little bit cooler. See if that color is a little bit better. I think so. Maybe not. Maybe it needs to look just a little more purplish. So let's mix our own purple with the quinacridone and the ultramarine blue. Right? We're definitely going to see some of that in here tonight. Very pretty. Add a little more pink to it. None of it looks that dark, so I'm going to add quite a bit of white to it. Let's see how that looks. Much, much better. A little more blue. And we get that. Then there's at the bottom, some of these lavender plants look very, very blue. They really might just be ultramarine and white only, which I think is a beautiful periwinkle-ish color. So that's easy. That's easy enough. How about the greens? The greens, I would say let's grab some yellow and I mean the tiniest speck of green. And you'll see it really doesn't take much green to turn that yellow into lime, right? Over here, it looks more desaturated. Maybe it's got a little bit of the raw sienna in it. Let's see what happens if we mute it just a little bit. See how it changed that color? That's what we see over here by the basket. By just muting that lime with the raw sienna, it was very easy to do that. And then we've got this really vivid green at the very bottom. So there's my phthalo green blue shade. And I think I'm going to add a little of the raw sienna to it. Maybe a little more. And that looks pretty nice. The phthalo green without doing that, it's crazy. Look at that. I mean, that's just a very artificial looking green. So you can also try adding some yellow to this, and we're going to go back to the lime when we do that. But it's good to have different shades. I see some of this in here too. Okay, and so just to practice our black that we're going to mix, I could just basically take this green and this purple and this magenta, mix those together, maybe some blue, maybe even a little bit of red, maybe a little more red. And this could be my black. I mean, it really looks black. In person, it looks like a very deep eggplant color, but the camera's not picking it up. It's actually a really, it's actually true eggplant. So there we go. There's a little bit of our color mixing. The sky, the sky is very, very gray. I almost feel like I could take this background color that I just made and add white to it. And honestly, that could be my sky up at the top. Made a really pretty gray. So since I have that, I think I'm going to go ahead and pop that in there. Made a very pretty pale, coolish gray. So let me get these swatches out of the way. And we're just going to go ahead and pop this color in here. So if you're watching on replay, please say replay and let us know where you're watching from. If it's your first time here, I'm really excited that you found us. We are a group of artists that, I don't know, we just enjoy supporting each other and learning how to paint a little bit better and learning how to do maybe glass and resin art. I discovered glass and resin art, what, 4 or 5 years ago, and oh my God, I just love it so much. Okay, so there's my sky, my gray. It looks a little bit paler in the reference. So maybe I will lighten it up just a little bit. I'm not worrying too much about the sides of this substrate. I'm probably going to like sand it. Okay, I like that better. It's a little bit lighter. All right, so I don't know. What do you think that is back there? Mountains? It looks more green on camera. I guess those are, it's a distant, maybe it's a hill. We can take liberties with that and make it maybe a muted violet if we wanted to. It does look pretty green. Let's try muting a green down. So I'm going to take some gray and add it to this green. And I just want to see what that even looks like back there. No, that's probably too... Oh, I don't know. Let's get it a little bit greener and darker, maybe. Bluer. So I added ultramarine blue, and then I added my raw sienna, and then I'm adding white. So the problem is when you add white, it really it kind of overpowered it a little bit, so I had to add yellow back in. That's probably pretty good. Let's see how that works. We can always change that later. And you do want to paint into her hat just a little bit so that you don't have a hole later. Okay, so then we're going to do a really pale, muted color for the distance back there. We're working from the background forward. So it's going to be mostly this yellow. I'm going to basically use some of that green that I had and quite a bit of the yellow. And let's start putting that in there. I feel like I need it to be a little bit lighter. And you always want to do horizontal strokes when you're trying to represent land. So I think we are going to wind up putting in a little bit of pink back there, a little bit of quinacridone. To desaturate that quinacridone, I'm going to add a little bit of green. And it's a tough balancing act. Because too much and it's going to start to look too dark. Let's see how this looks. Just going to try it. A lot of times you just don't know until you try putting it in there, you know. This little piece sticking out from her shoulder is her ribbon, actually. So mostly I want to see if I have the right value. And it's not bad. I wish it was a little bit lighter. So I'm probably going to go back in and make it just a little bit lighter. Let me add some white. And I think I'm going to actually use a little bit of my warm red. Just to see what that does. I kind of like that. Yeah, that's better than the yellow that I had, right? So let's get rid of the yellow. The yellow is too distracting or something. So who's watching the Gwyneth Paltrow trial? Shelley, did you watch it today? What did I miss? I was kind of running around a lot today. Oh, yeah, that pink, that blush color is working much better, I think. So my brush is pretty dry. I'm doing horizontal strokes for now, and I'm going to add in vertical strokes later on. Okay, and then it starts to become green, right? So let's make our green. I'm not even going to wash my brush. So I'm going to get a tiny bit of the phthalo green. I'm going to add the Hansa yellow to it. I guess I shouldn't cover up the whole thing like that. Let's put some white in there too. I do see some of this in here, but it's also a little grayish. Let me use some of this gray. I actually see some of this coming in over here. Isn't that funny? So we really want, you know, muted, pale colors back here. I did watch today. I thought the ski teacher and ski patrol were the most interesting witnesses today. I caught a little bit of that. Just a little bit. Okay, now I'm making it a little more saturated and I'm going to see what this looks like. Oh, that is really strong. Probably a little too much, but I just wanted to see. And these more vivid colors are going to, bring the viewer's eye right where we want, right where we want them to be. And I'm going to kind of do this horizontal streak of green just to give that feeling that this is land. Looks like a tree line. Oh yeah, maybe they're trees. Yes, they probably are. And it's really funny, but there's a very distant muted tree back there. Like you can barely see it. Kind of lighter colors. So if we just skip this across like this, oh, it could be even lighter. It's going to give that feeling like these are, that it's a field, And it's a good idea to kind of just turn your brush. I like, my little trick is to put a light area in the background right next to a dark area of the foreground, for instance, her hat. And that'll really bring the viewer's eye right there because of that contrast. And I'm also going to put some light muted green right next to where these beautiful lavender plants are that are in the basket. Okay, so we are beginning to get that feeling. There might be just a couple of areas that are a little bit greener. Right here, this is darker. Oh, where'd this come from? I'm going to try mixing up a darker green. Like I see some darker green right here. And if it's on that side, we want to continue a little bit over on this side. And some of this starts to, come in down here. It almost looks like she's casting a shadow. So I'm trying out this green, kind of auditioning it. And that's not bad. Be sure to bring just a little, kind of walk it around and put it in a few other places here and there. And I can probably also go just a smidge darker again. So this has more blue in it. Okay, so you have to be kind of abstract with this whole thing. And, usually what I'll do is just really squint. Oh, I forgot this whole triangle right there. I completely missed that. Oops. And also between the other arm too. Uh-oh. Uh, all right, let's see if we can kind of get some of that in there again. No, that's too light for there. Okay, I need a slightly different color, so maybe just throw something else together. Oops, this is too muted. Don't like that. So hello, hello, who have we got here? I'm so glad you're here. Say hello. My name's Aggie, and I am in southern Wisconsin. Where are you from? Who we got here? Wait, this looks pretty nice and muted. There is going to be a bunch of purple stuff here. Okay. So I think that's looking pretty good. Let's get her hat in. Hey, hey Aggie, I'm reading what you said. Hi, Liz. Oh yeah, come back and watch later. You don't have to watch right now. I totally understand. All right, so I really love that gray color that I made. So let's see if we can recreate that again. So I think what I did is I grabbed, okay, some green, some quinacridone, some of this ultramarine, some purple, basically all my dark colors. And then it looked very purple. So I'm going to add some red to it. And that looks quite, well, actually, that's pretty good, actually. Maybe a little more green will darken it just a bit more. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? All right, I think this is not bad. Let's test it out, though. Let's put this on here and see how it looks. Yeah, I mean, it'll probably work, right? And then we can start putting it in on her dress. I think I'm going to paint the whole dress in. Oop. Yeah, I think it's just a lot easier to just go ahead and kind of paint the whole dress in. Oh, and there is an opening on her back. It's got like a little slit. I mean, I guess I could, leave that out, but I thought it was kind of interesting. So here's her shoulder and her sleeve. So I'm not going to, I'm gonna keep these lines here for the ribbon and the hat so that I don't lose all of that. And I'm gonna just turn this upside down for a second. It'd be easier for me to paint this way. Get a little more water. Okay, so let's see if I can see this. Where is this? All right, here's her sleeve. Um, oh, I see. Her dress is being covered by some of the flowers. Thanks, Lisa. Okay, and then here's her other shoulder. Oh, she's got a weird like flap on her shoulder, but I'm just gonna make it a regular sleeve, a normal sleeve. This is the belt. All right, so we gotta let that dry a little bit. Yeah, because if you sometimes, with paint, if you keep wiping over it, it just you just wipe it off as soon as you put it on. Okay. Let's do the hat. I need a little bit more of this color. And I'm still using a big brush, and it does feel a little bit klutzy. But use the big brush as long as you can. Okay. So I'm going to need a slightly lighter color for the highlight in the hat. Okay, just doing a second coat on the sleeve. Almost there. Okay. This arm looks just a little too thin compared to the other one, so okay, I think that's better. All right. So let's do her skin tone next. Yeah, let's do her skin tone. I know skin tone is hard, right? Who has a hard time with skin tone? Basically, I would say start with a tiny bit of white, add some yellow. In this case, I'm just going to use the raw sienna, and I'm going to use a little bit of my red, and I made it really, really orangey. So that's way too saturated and pinky. So to desaturate that, we can add just a tiny bit of the ultramarine blue. Let's see how that looks. That's not bad. Oh no, Lisa Evans Guthrie says, I wish I could get my desire to paint back. I literally just walked into my paint room Saturday, sat down for a couple of minutes and got up and walked out. Yeah. Did you have a bad experience the last time you painted? Just curious. So for a shadow color, I'm just going to use a little bit of violet. Probably a little bit too much violet, and a little more raw sienna. If it gets too dark, I can just add white to that. Made it too light, so go back with more purple. More raw sienna. Sometimes you just have to go back and forth until you land on just the right thing. Let's try this. And I think I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. Yeah, you may have just kind of burnt yourself out. I do go through that. One thing, and this is probably going to sound strange, but I can't do that anymore because I've got people counting on me. I require more of myself now, with this membership, and I can't really have days where I just, don't paint or don't do the commission that somebody paid me for or whatever, you know. Um, the more you get to where you can kind of, force yourself to have to do things, make commitments to people, the more you find that you can rise to the occasion. The more you require of yourself is what I usually call it. And, sometimes we're just not ready for that, in which case, just go back a step, go back to the previous step of your journey, whatever you were doing before. It's not a regression. Sometimes we're just not ready, and we need something else to build up a little bit more first. Does that sound strange? Sometimes we just bite off, like way too much red. Sometimes maybe we just kind of push ourselves too much. Maybe there's a lot going on in your life. Maybe you don't even realize how much something is affecting you. There's just so many things. This is a little, oops. This almost makes her look dead. But, her skin is so light that I think it is okay to have some purple on there, on her skin tone. Shelley says, Lisa, I did this a few days ago. I was excited to paint, but when I sat down, it was clear that this just wasn't the day. I went to my studio the next day with a cup of hot tea and great music and had a great day painting. Yeah, just have to give ourselves some grace. Yeah, some days you can't force it. I even still have those days, but they are fewer and farther between, I will say. But I do have days where I just want to, lay in bed and watch TV or whatever. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. So I think the purple is working for the shadow. I think it is giving her just the right tone, but we'll see. We'll wait and see. What we're doing is we're blocking in all the colors to then evaluate how they all work, and we're gonna change things along the way as needed. All right, so this is going to be kind of a shadowy color in her back there. And we don't see any of her face. This is actually her hair. She's got brown hair, I think. Yeah, it can barely tell, but she has brown hair. And let's see if we can mix up a brown. I'm going to go purple with the yellow. Might get a nice brown. No, not really. A little more yellow, maybe a little red. Needs to be a little bit darker. Yeah, too much blue and it's going to go green on me. Let's see how this looks. If this looks like brown hair. Yeah, it does. I didn't think it was going to look like brown hair, but it does look like brown hair. And I'm painting over the black. I don't know if you can tell. And her hair is short. It's not hanging down. We don't see any of it on the other side. All we see is her bow on that side, but I do need to make the hair just a little bit darker. So I have to add all of my dark colors. And this is probably going to look like dark green, but maybe it'll work. Okay, I think that's enough of a hint that her hair is brown. So now I need a lighter gray for that hat band. Let's see if this is still wet. Yeah, this might work. I don't have much of it though, so I'm going to make some more. Okay, so there's my lighter gray. And this is going to be her hat band. So one of them, one band tucks behind her shoulder. And the other band goes down her back, or, of the ribbon. I'm calling it a band, but you know what I mean. And then this one that went down there comes out here. Okay, and then there's going to be just the slightest hint of Make it just a little bit lighter over here. Little slightly different tone, maybe in a couple spots. Oops, sorry. This brush is a bad brush. Let me go get a better one. This tip is splaying out. Okay, so I get a sip of water here. And there's a slightly lighter, oh, sorry about the glare. That's a little bit better. So there's a slightly lighter tone on the hat. You can't really see it. Like here. So see if I can kind of get that in there. It's a little lighter than I wanted it to be. So let's see if we can blend that out a little bit. No, that's not really working. Okay, so let's make that dark color again. Green, red, quinacridone. And a little bit of purple. So I'm painting over that previous really dark tone. And I think I like this better. I like that it's just a little bit warmer. Oh. This one doesn't have the greatest tip either, this brush. Okay, this really needs to come out of here as a tiny little point. Oh, it's barely showing, is it? Isn't it? Here, now you can kind of see the value change, right? Right, so down here, this gets thinner. If you look really close on the reference, you can see this detail. Okay, then this is going to be the lighter tone on her shoulder. And maybe on her hip, I'll make this a little bit lighter. And maybe on the edge of her dress here. Okay. So I think what I can do then is kind of use this lighter color to kind of map out where I'm going to put some of this pattern. And just, oops, kind of messed that up, didn't I? Like some pattern will be going off the edge of a sleeve. Here I need to fix this, so I may as well put this down here. And, you know, so for now, it's just going to be big, like, I don't know, kind of blobs of this pattern. Because it's a pattern dress. It's probably pretty good, right? I don't know if you can see that. Just to, you know, just so that I have an idea of where I'm going to put the flowers later. Okay, and then the ribbon. So her back skin tone is a little too light, I think. Maybe if we did a pointed end on the ribbon, then we'll know what this is a little bit better, right? Okay. I still feel like I need to clean up this outline. On her back. And of course, you know, you could just leave it out, which I might wind up doing. All right. All right, I wish I had that darker. So let me see if I can get it really dark again. Oh, it's all watery. Okay, let's see if we can dry that a little bit. Lift it up. Okay, I think that's a little better. All right. So we've got her in there. Hi, Tony. We've got her in there. Sorry about the glare. I'm not sure what I can do about that. Okay. Yeah, I just don't know what I can do about the glare. Is it better with no light on it? Maybe it is better. I'm casting a shadow from the other light. It's really hard with studio lights, you know? My lights are on the ceiling. Okay, so let's get the basket in there now because we don't have that color in there. What you want to do is block everything in so that you can evaluate what you need to adjust. But you first have to have everything in there. Trying to get it straight and everything else. Okay, so the basket, I'm going to use mostly this raw sienna. And I made a brown once before. I think it's over here. Yeah, for her hair. So, you know, just darken that up with all your dark colors. But I'm going to make a dark base over here with purple and blue, right? Oh, I need the light on. I can't really see. Purple and blue. Add some magenta to it. Of course, that's super dark. I'm going to put a little bit of that in here with this raw sienna that I've got. Let's add some white to that. And, you know, that might not be bad. I think it's a little warmer than that. I think I might need a little more red. But, you know, let's put it in there and see. And you know what? It's not bad. Okay, it looks a little pinkish. So let me get a little more raw sienna out. So we'll add a little more raw sienna to this. And maybe make it a little bit lighter. See how that looks now. And the handle looks like a lighter tone. So I'm going to use like a lighter color on that to help separate it. And there's also just a bit of a light edge right here. And there's going to be little peaks of light coming through the basket, but we're going to add that later. Okay, on this side, It actually seems just a bit more yellow in here. So I'm using straight raw sienna on this part because it's as if the light is reflecting inside of the basket. Okay, then I'm going to go use some of the dark tone over here. Okay, so we're still blocking in. So let's, oh, it looks very warm now. But I don't know, I kind of like that. I think if I add a little bit more of a shadowy tone, hold on, let me add some white and purple. And this may not work, but we'll see. All right, so there's a line that goes this way. Then there's one that goes this way, this way. Okay, let's leave that for a little bit. Let's use this same purple tone on the dress. Starting to put some pattern on the dress because that's going to take a little bit of doing. Okay. That's kind of fun, isn't it? The lavenders are going to be really fun at the end, putting the flowers on. Okay, and then there's a blue in her dress, so let me put some white mixed in with our blue. fun, fun. I don't know when the last time is that I painted something like this, you know? Okay, and then there's a magenta in there, which I could probably add when I do the lavender flowers. Okay, so let's see what else we need here. We need to put where there's stuff missing. We need to fill that in. So I am going to mix up some flower colors now so that we have all of the canvas covered, and then we'll evaluate what needs to be adjusted. Okay, so we're going to make a couple different shades of lavender here now. So we've got that beautiful pink, right, which we talked about that. It's the quinacridone with white, quinacridone magenta and white. And I mean, you could just use straight up pink. Let's mix a couple of different shades of it. You know, maybe a deeper quinacridone with just a little bit of white. Maybe even just a tiny bit of the violet added to it. Then let's make a violet using the deep violet that we've got. There's not much of this color, but there's a lot of the ultramarine blue, which I kind of have here already, just white with ultramarine blue. So let's start with this. And I see it here. I see it right up against the basket over here. So we're going to do these rows. Then we've got some of it here, kind of goes over her dress a little bit. A really pale version of it over here. Okay, and we're going to make that pink also. All right, then maybe a slightly darker ultramarine blue, a little more ultramarine blue added to this. Because this is kind of some shadowiness going on over here. See a couple of like lines. Maybe some of these are going to be a little darker also. Oh, the video's ending? That's funny. Sorry. Is that happening for anybody else? Okay, and then there's some of these in her basket. That might be a little dark, but I don't think I mind that too much because I kind of want, I want to bring your attention there. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Let's add the, oops, I don't know why I did that. These medium pinks in here. It's fun to paint loose like this. So there's like a slight hint of like a line almost in here. So I'm going to use this darker, the ultramarine, to give a hint of the stalk. And you'd be surprised. You don't need much to make someone's brain think it's a stalk. Oh, thanks, Marty. I'm glad you're liking it. Okay. So that's the thing about lavender. It has that little hint of a line in there. And, you know, we don't have to do it exactly like the sample. Okay. I want some of this over here. So I definitely see a bit of a line here and here, another one. I'm going to exaggerate it just a little bit. Nope, probably overdid it. Okay. I think if you do have a longer dash here and there, it gives the brain something to look at, so that it doesn't look like all just dots. I don't think we would want that, you know. Okay, now I see pink, the lighter pink. So just straight up white with quinacridone. Oops. Okay, really, really light now. Just a hint of violet in this. And, you know, be careful. Everything gets, you know, bigger the more we paint. I mean, it is really light right here. Okay. I mean, it's almost like little stripes of white in between not white, but a really, really pale version of the color. Because the light's kind of hitting this from the side. And then, lastly, we can go in and add just a little bit of green in between wherever you think you need to. Okay. So here, these are super light. The light is really hitting them. And it only works if we've got the the green behind it dark enough, which I don't think I had quite enough of it dark enough, but I think it's kind of working. Okay, so now at least we have all the colors in, and we can see that this is getting a little bit lost right here. This, I don't think I like that on her back. Her back is too light. I need to definitely darken that up. And I need a little bit more detail in the distance, I think. So, and I can also make, I think, the foreground greens a little bit duller and darker. Let's see. So this is almost an olivey green here. Let me see what this looks like. And I think it is okay if some of this green goes in front of her dress. I'm just going to simplify a little bit more. I do like this darker tone. Oh, that's really dark. But that's good. I think I needed that foreground to get that dark. Okay. Let's get a little bit of pink in her dress. Her dress really matches her surroundings. Okay. All right, so her skin tone should be darker than the background there, believe it or not. So let's fix that background, those background greens a little bit. So I'm gonna really help delineate the background from her arm a little bit more. And then I'm going to continue that same green over here. Okay, and that's giving more of a feeling that it's a little really light out, but I don't really mind that. And I did need to fix this area around the scarf anyway. Yeah, I'm liking this color. You can get just a little bit pinker as we go up. And I'm doing vertical strokes on purpose. Okay, down here, it's a little bit greener. So I'm kind of renegotiating some of those greens. See, sometimes we just don't know if it's right until we can compare it to the colors next to it. You know what I'm saying? Now I can get these beautiful muted pinks in here, I think. So you can do the quinacridone magenta with white and add just a little bit of the raw sienna to it. And you know, these, there are a couple of them over here that are just a little more muted. Oh, I guess it's a good idea to mix your colors up a little bit more. So you can't even really totally make out what they are. These might be too dark back here, so I'm just kind of testing. Oh, it might work. And, you know, if you put it on there and it feels too dark, then just lighten it up a little bit. Add a little more white to it. I think as I get closer to her face, I'm going to make it lighter. So this is a muted, you know, magenta, quinacridone magenta with a little bit of raw sienna added to it. Now you can't really even see it. So maybe I'll use even just a little of my violet with white. Okay, I have no idea. This might be way too dark. I don't think I mind it all that much. You know, it's a field and there's going to be fluctuations and stuff. So now I'm going to go a little bit paler. This is a fun one. Lisa, you know what? You should try this one. Maybe it might get you back into, might really get you back into it, into painting. Okay, and then there's hints of greenish stripes, dots. I don't know what they are, you know, way in the distance too. Some of them are maybe just a little darker, so I'm going to use raw sienna to darken it up. You'd have to get some golden paints. They're on sale right now. Everybody's saying they're on sale right now. Can anybody tell her where? I'm forgetting where. I don't know. It might be Michael. Does anybody here? Lisa, do you remember where everybody was saying that the golden fluid acrylics are on sale? Was it Michael's? Oh, that's nice. A little bit lighter like that. You have some of them? Awesome. I'm going to pull this green down here. This was too vibrant of a green. Okay, what else does it need? Oh, okay, so now her skin. Okay, I need a brighter pink on these flowers, but I need to get all that green filled in behind there. So yeah, let me get a little bit more green filled in, and then we can you know, put the lighter back in. This is too light right here also. Okay, let's try this green. mean, it's okay if there's just a few little specks of lime green, but there's not much. Oh, you've got the ultra high flow or whatever they're called. I don't remember what they're called. I have 1 or 2 of those. Oh, some of these do go up just a little bit higher. Okay, couple more being pulled up here maybe. All right. Okay. What else? We're getting close, right? Very, very close. All right, let's get a lighter tone in that basket. So now I'm going to add white to the raw sienna. And I'm going to have those little light holes that are peeking through. We're going to put a few of those in. And I mean, again, you'd be surprised. It doesn't take as much as you think to give that feeling that that's a basket. I don't really like that color that I've got on there though. So this is a time when it really is nice to have like a raw umber, and I think I'm just going to grab a raw umber. Or I've got burnt umber light. So I'm going to just use burnt umber light. And white. My white's kind of dirty. Burnt umber light and white, but it does need some yellow added to it. So I'm also adding yellow. And there's some green in there. All right, let's see. Let's get this on here. So I'm not going to totally obliterate, you know, everything I have on there already. I don't mind if little bits of that purplish color remain. It'll help. That could be my dark tone, but I'm just trying to get rid of most of it. And again, you know, we're suggesting, we don't have to paint the whole thing in ultimate detail. Okay, let's make the other side of it just a little more like whitish. I'm going to call it good enough. Okay, skin tone. All right, let's get the pink flowers on first. So they're a really nice pale pink. Which I think I need a cleaner white. Well, maybe not. And I'm going to put some right here to cover up that edge of her arm. So I went glass shopping today, and oh my goodness, I struck a mother load. I got so much gorgeous glass. I want to do a glass haul. At least with the members. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll share it live on my public page too. I don't know. I haven't decided. I really lucked out. Just found so much great stuff today. From an antique shop. Okay, let's get the light on this one. And maybe this one I'll make just a little bit more pronounced. Okay. Trying to get maybe some slightly brighter pinks in here. And then the icy pink kind of in between. What else do you think it needs, you guys? Oh, there's a weird spot. Yeah, that white is not looking too good right there, so maybe I'll... Paint's starting to get dry. Oops. This needs to be more purplish. So I'm going to grab some more ultramarine blue. Okay. Oh, probably that same ultramarine bluish color. I could put kind of going over the basket. Oh, that helped a lot. Anytime you can overlap something in front of something else, it gives dimension. Yeah, I like that. Making that a little more pronounced really helped that, I think. Yeah, I think the darker tones helped. Hey, Jane. Put some of this on her dress also. And there are little bits of white on her dress, but I think that would compete too much. So I'm leaving that out on purpose. I don't know. I think we're really pretty much there. I could put a darker value on her arm over here. It actually is darker on the reference. But I don't think I feel like doing that. Oh, I splattered in the sky up there. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get that off of there. Yeah, oh, it is coming off. Scrubby dubby dubby, come off of there. I suppose I could go over it again, but I don't really want to. My eye goes right here to these. I think I want to just soften those up a little bit more. And it does look just a little bit more muted. I see a weird, oh, I think this paint is almost completely dry. I see a weird blank spot right here. Oh, that was very watery paint. Let's fix that. Better. There could be a hint of some flowers right here in between her arms. That helped a lot. Just that little, sometimes just a little detail like that can really help a lot. And I know this isn't showing up very well on camera here. Sorry about that. Let's see if we can soften this up a little bit. You know, and you can decide how much pink or purple is in your field, you know, totally up to you. Just kind of darkening this edge a little bit, kind of gives a sense of framing. These over here look just a little bit warmer, so I'm adding a little bit more raw sienna to this. Okay, I think we're probably done. So, oh, you know what? I bet you I could use that same tone on her back. I still have that. Get it just a little bit darker, her back. Oh, where was that color? I think that looks just a little bit better. Being a tiny bit darker, and I could probably even use that tone. Maybe the burnt umber light warmed up with a little bit of pink, if I still have any, or purple. It's probably too dark and too purple, but it is a shadow, so let's see if we can kind of get away with it. Ugh, it's really dark. But I'm going to blend it out. Maybe. Actually, the edge of her arm is light. I'm just trying to avoid pulling more paint out. There is a little light highlight on the edge of her arm right there. Oh gosh, darn it. I didn't want to have to do the skin tone. We got to make this arm darker to go with the other one. And then this needs to be darker. You like it, Jane? Thank you. The slit in her back is way too big, but I'm probably going to touch that up with, let's touch that up with a paint pen or something. Let's grab a paint pen. It's still wet, not really. This is these are by Thule, and they're not available anymore on Amazon, but not this exact brand, but there's they are still available. They're just called under a different name now for some reason on Amazon, and I really like them. Fix this sleeve. So sleeve usually protrudes a little bit beyond the body, the skin. Okay, and then there's just this tip of the hat here. Oops. Oh, darn. This tip of the hat that I couldn't quite get. I don't know if I can blend this. Oh yeah, I can. Blend your paint pen a little bit. I don't know. I think on the reference, I can't quite tell if her dress maybe goes this way a little bit more, but I don't know that that really matters. Okay, and then I think that's it. Here, I've got some really light pink. Now I'm being crazy. Do you like them better than Posca pens? Well, these are much thinner, Betty. I mean, these are a much thinner point. I like Posca pens a lot. So you can get a few details in here with these that you otherwise, you know, maybe couldn't have done. This would be a great way to get that hint of the stalk, but if you have the right color, which I don't know that I do. I guess I could try this gold. I don't know if this is even started. Yeah, I guess it is. But maybe here and there I could put the stalk in. Actually, that does look pretty good. Even just a couple of those can really tell the story. Of course, don't do what I just did. I made them all perfectly spaced. And this color might work really well, you know, for some of this. You could go kind of crazy with this. I would say try not to. And that handle is actually a different color, which isn't really going to make sense, but let me see if I can make the handle maybe kind of gray. Maybe put some hints of this right here. And that's probably, I mean, that's probably enough. It's easy to go a little crazy with a paint pen. You don't want to do that. Okay, I do like this light gray, maybe for the ribbon to clean up. Just want it to be obvious that this is part of this. All right, maybe the other gray. And then I think I'm going to call it a day. So do you guys have any questions or anything? Hey, Pat. Beautiful. It's been a hot minute since I've been on recovering from broken leg surgery at my daughter's house. I'm at my home tonight alone for the first time since January. Oh my gosh, Pat. Oh, wow. Yeah, I am so sorry. What a horrible thing. So what did they have to do surgery wise for you? Ugh. Oh, her skin looks terrible on her arms. I just don't feel like fixing it right now. Actually, this light color would be perfect for the little highlight on the basket. I don't know if I've ever used it though. I guess I have. Yeah, that's enough. I have a plate inside of leg and a new ligament. Oh my goodness. How did you do that? My goodness, Pat. All right, I'm going to bring myself back on and maybe show this. Oh, hello. I've been painting a long time. Oh my God, 2 hours. I'm not supposed to go this long, supposedly, right? I don't think. Well, I still have a few people here. Thanks for hanging with me this long. Wow. Here, let me hold it up this way. Oh, you can see it better this way, right? Um, the skin tone doesn't even look too bad now. Isn't that funny? Okay, focus. We lost the focus on this one. Why won't it focus over there? Yeah, it's not bad. The focal point looks like right on her ass. I missed the last step going down into the garage. You're kidding. That could happen to anybody. Oh, I have too much contrast on the ribbon now. I don't like it. I'll change it later. Oh, Pat, let me show the other two that we did. So all of these are on here, and you can get the PDF packet from my link tree. I can share that again, but we did this watering can the first week. Last week, we did this basket of lavender. And then this week, we did this one. These colors look the same, kind of. Not really. I don't know, are my greens too green? Wow, it won't focus over here on this other one. How come it won't focus anymore? I forgot what I'm supposed to do to make it. Oh, there, now it's focusing. Guess I have to leave my hand in there. I think this one's my favorite, believe it or not. I don't know why. I know, I love lavender. I absolutely. Is there any other essential oil? You know what I mean? I just love lavender. I hate it when they add coconut or vanilla. It's like, no, just lavender. We don't need you to add no vanilla to the lavender. I'm finally out of big boot, excuse me, and into a brace. 6 weeks of physical therapy. Oh, Pat, I'm praying for you. Gosh. Well, this looks better than I thought. It looks better on this camera for some reason. I had all that weird glare and all that stuff going on. So anyway, let me grab the link once again. Well, I'm so glad you found us, Pat. Let me send you the link in case you want to do any of these. So it's on my link tree. Did I share this before? Yeah. Oh, hold on. January 31st. You'll be ready for summer with your new leg. Oh my goodness. Oh. Okay, copying this and paste it in the comments for you. I have a headache. I've been here before, aka Pat. Yep, you're Pat. Yes, we know that. So there is the link tree. If you're still hanging with me and you want to paint these and you want the tracers and the reference images, go grab it. It's yours for the taking. And I hope you'll join me next Monday night at 6 p.m. We're going to do the lady in the white dress. Let me show you her. Where is her picture? Actually, I think I have the PDF I can share in here just so that you see what it looks like. Was it slides? Here it is. Yeah. Which pick is your favorite, Jane? The white dress or the black dress, lady? Oh, you know why it looks so weird? That was silver pen that I used on the on the ribbon. I didn't realize it was silver. That's why it's sticking out so much. Well, maybe it's not the worst thing in the world. So yeah, here is the PDF. So you get a tracer, you get the photo, tracer, photo of the basket, tracer and photo of the lady in the black dress, and the white dress lady. Yeah, it does look kind of Van Gogh-ish. Yeah, look at that. So we're going to do that one next week. And then if you got, let me know if you like these on Monday night or if I should do something else. If you got any ideas of what we might do. I'm doing this just to promote, painting and creating and being with other like-minded friends. And if you enjoy this sort of thing, you can join my membership where you get even more. I'm glad you lowered the horizon. I know on the white one, it was kind of bizarre. It's such a bad spot in this one. It's so bad. Yeah, it needed that. And that's what's so great about using our artistic license. You don't have to be a slave to the reference photo. Yes, yes, yes. This one is going to be the most challenging. Yeah, I'd cut her head off. Off with your head. There's a song out. It's a crazy song, but for some reason when it comes on when I'm listening to Pandora, I like it. I think it's Off with Her Head. That's the song. Very bizarre. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope to see you next week, Monday night, 6 p.m. If you're not following my page, I hope you do follow. Facebook let me change the name of my business page finally after like years, literally. What was it called? It was called Artist Heart Studio, and now it's Agnes Friedlander Studio. In case you are confused at all by that, it's still me. It's just that I wanted to have it as my business name because, when I launched my website, everything became Agnes Friedlander. Yes, it's a difficult name. It's a long name, but it's the best bet is to use your own name when you're promoting yourself as an artist. It really is. So, but Facebook wouldn't let me change it. Wow, look at this crazy palette. It's kind of pretty, actually. Let me take this down. How do I do that again? So yeah, here's what's happening in my membership upcoming classes. Here we are heading into April. We're going to be doing a lucky rooster and a China bull, a bull made out of China. You got slammed by Facebook for saying what? Oh, cut her head off? I don't think so. Come on, Jane. How do I delete this again? Oh, remove. Okay. So, oh, she really does look good. It's so funny, when you're really looking at something a long time. You did get slammed? What do they do when they slam you? Exactly. I thought you were joking. They stopped the video for me. Oh my goodness. Well, they're listening. Oh my goodness. But we're good people. We're not going to do that to anybody. Oh my goodness. All right. Wow. Jane. I'm shocked. They gave you notice. It's nothing like that has ever happened to me. Wow. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, okay. It's my fault. I shouldn't have brought up that silly song name. Gosh, this looks better and better the more I look at it. Isn't that funny? Now, should I add glass and resin to this? Probably not, huh? But anyway, if you guys do these, I hope that you will paint them and share them with the group, Oh, that's the other thing. If you want, you can join my free group. Thank you so much. An innocent statement, but people can throw, yeah, F words like glitter. I've never heard that phrase. Throwing it like glitter. I also have a free group if you want to join. It's called Glass and Resin. Is it called Glass and Resin Community? That used to be called the Artist at Heart Community. And they let me change the name of that too. So I changed my free Facebook group. Let me just double check what it is. Betty says no glass. Okay, no glass. Not everything has to be covered in glass, right? but it does need varnish because, well, who can tell me why you should varnish a painting? Let's see who knows. And I was going to look on Facebook to see what is the great name of my free group. Goodness. I think it's Glass and Resin Community. How bad am I that I don't know this? Yeah, Glass and Resin Art Community. I may as well get the link for you. We'd love to have you join. And it's a free group. Oh, man. I don't know why I have this headache. Okay, here it is. Back into StreamYard to hold the color and keep the sun and air from fading the colors. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. There's also more reasons. The other big reason is it gives everything the same sheen. So like I've got different sheen from the marker that I used, and I can hide that by using a varnish, which I'm sure if you were looking at this in person, Jane, you would have thought of that too. Like see the outline on the keyhole outline on her back, you can see the line. I think when I varnish it, you're not going to notice that anymore, you know? So anyway, keep the paint from giving and taking with the temperature. Yeah, it really does protect from dust. It protects it also. I think it even protects it. Does it protect it from UV or I guess it would depend on the varnish. But it protects it from dust, everything. Yeah, everything in the environment. Maybe not UV. That I'd have to look up. So anyway, that's it, my friends. Who's gonna join my free Facebook group if you're not in it already? Well, we only have 5 people here. I think all you guys are already in. So I guess that's it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you, Jane. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Betty. Have a wonderful evening, and set your intention for the week. You're in it? Okay, good, Betty. Set your intention for the week because it's Monday. I hope you have a wonderful week. Decide what you want to get done this week and go for it. Get it all done. Beautiful paintings. I'm off to sleep in your own bed. Yes, there's nothing like your own bed. Oh, good for you, Pat. I'm so glad you're back. Big sweet potato. You must be you must be on break. Thank you. It did come out really good. Here's my Charlie right here. All right, you guys, have a great night, and I'll see you next time. See you next week, Monday night, 6 p.m. Central. See you then. Bye.